Hey, it's Mike with the 61 Bug and the 66 Beetle. 66 Bus. I thought today I would do a just a quick walk around since I've basically finished this Beetle. So I thought I would just do like a summary and talk about the chassis, body, motor, fuel system, electrical system, and then go for a quick drive. And this Beetle, I bought a 66 Beetle. So the summary is I bought a 66 Beetle and I took the body off, which is very rusty, and I put it on these rolly sawhorses. And then when I had the chassis separated, I redid the chassis and I decided that that 66 body was just too rusty. So I took out the 1300 motor and sold it for $1,000. And I took that $1,000 and I bought this 1961 body, and it needed fenders and needed a bunch of welding and body work and stuff, but it was pretty good. So that 61 body is what this is now. It's a 61 body on a 66 pan. So that's the summary. And the background behind it is I know Lotus White is not a 61 color, but because I had the bus, which is a 66 Lotus White original German bus. And I love this bus. And I wanted to have a twin, since I had the black VW on the front. I also made this one a black VW just to kind of match. So I know it's not an original color, but that's what I did. So when I had the chassis out, I redid everything on the chassis, and there's videos of all of this, but basically, I kept it original chassis under there. I redid the floor pans, redid all the brake lines, redid, everything, clutch, cable, throttle cable, everything is basically redone on the chassis. And then I took out the body. I had the body up on here, welded everything in. I had to do some fixes, especially here on these quarter panels, and I had to do the fenders, and I bought some snowflakes, which I did, redid all the bumper mounting brackets, and I had to fix a bunch of the holes, that is the screw holes that hold the fenders. That a bunch of them had rusted out, so I bought a couple packs of those and welded those in place. So then when I got the body all together, with put all the rubber seals, all of these little guys, attention to details is good when you have the little rubber pieces like this. I got everything in the body all ready to go, including inside with the Y tubes and everything for the heaters. I had to weld in these heater channels, so the heater channels, that was probably the biggest job, just to get that ground out and have the heater channels put in place, and then get everything metal-wise in shape. And then I reassembled the body onto the chassis using this little pulley. You can see up there I have a little place where I put my block and tackle pulley. And then I restored this license plate and the deck lid and everything, and got the shifter. I redid the whole transaxle and all that, and so that brings me to the motor. Now the motor I had built for the bus. It's a 1968 motor, and the motor, it's a great motor. Here are the dimensions. So 92s with a 74 stroke, and then it's basically a 218 cam, and it has dual Weber 40s, and it has this vintage speed exhaust, and it really runs well. See, I have my fuel filter, and so not the plastic one, but I have a Bosch coil fuel filter, and my pressure regulator it's set to 3 pounds, and I have all my gauges and everything. So I have some, you know, extra wires in case I needed some more gauges. I have 3 extra wires there, but generally speaking, this motor runs really well. And the fuel system is up here, and it basically, I have a fuel pressure regulator. You can't see it. I could bring a light, but fuel pressure regulator and a fuel pump, electric fuel pump. But I thought I would just start the motor and then you can see what it sounds like. I recently put in a switch for my electric fuel pump, but you can hear it. So I have these gauges, tack, oil temp, oil temp, oil pressure, and then my ammeter and voltmeter. You can see the volts is up to 14, so that's good. I have a Bluetooth and a non-working AM, but here, this is the motor. 3 pounds of pressure there, and runs really, really nicely. So, you know, once I got the motor in there, which, as I said, the motor is from the bus, and I put a 2332 in the bus. But this motor, for the weight of this car, which is a 16 to 1700 pound car, is just fabulous. Then I did the electrical system, and the electrical system has some hacks in there, in that my 61 wiring harness that I put in wasn't set up for snowflakes. So I had to put in, it's under this cap, but I put in a trailer 3 to 2 light switch. And I also wired up a new blinker relay that was not based on the voltage. It was for LEDs. If you swap in the relay, it does a nice blink without ever blinking double fast when a bulb burns out or something like that. So that was an upgrade. I got the wipers working recently with my little attachment to fill it up from the spare tire. So, you know, the electrical system and with those gauges has been really great. So this car is surprisingly fun to drive. And you know, so I just a few other things on the interior that I have this bamboo shelf. I rigged up this cup holder myself in front off of this bolt. I have a Bluetooth that's there where there used to be probably a cigarette lighter hole, and I have my phone. I have the glove box and the grab handle and everything. So the interior is great, kind of just the way I like it, with the black carpets. And you know, one thing, I do have an aftermarket fuel gauge. I wanted to swap that back for a real fuel gauge. So I thought about that. Probably $50 for me to get one of those. But in the back, you know, I have my Kenwood speakers here, and you know, I have my seat belts in. I have my heater boxes work, and they are all hooked up to the heater levers here, so that's all good. So, you know, as far as the interior, also it's interesting because you don't need any power to run the squirter, because it's just going off of the air pressure in that tank, so that works great. So overall, that's the walk around. I have H4 LED headlights, which I put in some nice bright LED lights. I kept the drums, and I have the all new setup with the drum, with the brake lines and everything. And I just did a video on getting that brake pedal nice and firm, so that works great. So, you know, as I said, I just washed the car, so let's take it for one quick drive around the block, and that will finish out this video. All right, here we go. Gonna go for a little drive, just to round out what this car can do. As I said, I timed it 0 to 60 in
Sheila says she understood
8.2 seconds. So at 8.2 seconds, you know, it's a pretty fast car. So what I'll do is I'm just going to take it up onto the 45-mile-an-hour road. You turn this just a little bit, you can see kind of what the car feels like. So it's interesting because the windshield wipers, you know, I turned them on. I did a 12-volt conversion, so now that's the speed. And then if I go left, it does the park mode. So so if I do that, it'll stop it there. Then left goes park mode. Then I put it back in the middle. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be, but hey, I'm just happy it parks. So. Nice thing about this motor is that it has just a very nice solid pull just throughout. It doesn't have any more extreme ranges, and you don't really have to rev it that high. Said initially this was a bus motor, which I put in here, and I just want to do one sort of one start where I give it a little gas, and then we'll see how you know, how it behaves. But the so this switch doesn't do anything. You know, second gear. It's fun, second to third gear, and you know, if you floor it, it's pretty fun. And the other thing is that because the car's so light, and I put this leather grip on, it just has a nice solid feel. There's no vibration in the steering wheel, and you know, it feels really nice when you're steering it around. There's one slight thing that has been a little bit annoying, which is if I jam on the brakes, it slightly pulls to the right. Something's a little bit up with my right to left brake cylinder balancing, but downshift into third, that's 40 miles an hour. get out from behind this car. Nope. If you hear anything, let me know. I said you know, in theory, I built 4 motors, so this is, I guess, the 3rd motor. Let's go down here. So it takes a while before it ever registers to, you know, I have to drive it probably 20 minutes before it'll even register on the temperature getting closer to the 180 degrees. But this car, very rarely the motor gets over, say, 180 to 190. So at least that's on the gauge. So I'm not sure exactly what it means. You know, I have the temperature sender is on the location to the front under the motor. Fun little car, very fun. I would say I probably enjoy this car more than I had a BMW i3 before this, and that's a really fun little fast car. But you know, it's like a golf cart because there's no changing of the gears, there's no revving, there's nothing, and it's very convenient and fun. But it's also kind of an expensive car, and you know, this is just kind of like, this car is. Invest the time in redoing the chassis and every wheel and every cylinder, drum and line and whatever is something that you tinkered and you put on there yourself, kind of like it's a model car or something like that, and then you drive it and you hear the noises that it makes and the feel that the pedals make and everything like that. You just have a bond. You know, there's not really any computers where somebody tells you, oh, you have to, you know, do the diagnostic computer or something like that. I mean, really, you have to listen to it and you have to kind of know what to look for. And I did not know initially, you know, and I started doing the bus, and I did less work on the bus than I did on this car, but because this car is very tail heavy. So if I'm gonna go around a corner, I definitely always accelerate because I want that weight down on that back motor. I don't want to like brake. One time I went to Charlotte Speedway in 1990 for Italian Speed Day. We were driving an Alfa Romeo around, and somebody took their 356, tail fished it into a concrete piling, which I bet they're regretting now because all the 356s are like $250,000. So I don't know what it was back in 1990, but yeah, they totaled that car due to the tail heaviness of these air-cooled cars. And so this one, I'm always very careful if I ever go around a corner to make sure that have at least a mild acceleration going, so that you don't take the weight off of those back wheels. But anyway, that's my drive-through, and so I'll just append that to the walk-around video, and the next one I'm going to do is just the similar walkthrough for the bus. I felt bad because I've been working so much on the Beetle that I'm not paying any attention to the bus, and I started the 2332 in the bus, and it even dripped a little oil, and the battery was dead. I had to charge it up, so I'm feeling a little guilty about that. So I might get the bus out, give it a little attention, and then do a walkthrough on the bus, and maybe the exact same format where I'll take it for a drive as well. But anyway, I hope you guys liked the video of this Beetle. As I said, it's not a show car, but it has every mechanical part of the car plus some extra goodies all working perfectly. As I said, being an engineer, all I wanted was everything to work, and so even the pressure washer and the parking of the wipers and everything. So in any case, that's the Beetle, and like or subscribe if you want to help me get to 1,000 subscribers. All right, talk to you guys soon.